Few television channels in this country are truly useless, begging for the sweet release of death or rebranding. Of the few that are, most of them are owned by Discovery Inc., and arguably among the most desperate for a release from this linear coil is a little channel called Discovery Family. Discovery Inc., nay Communications, are the kings of running second and third rate cable channels into the ground, and then far longer than they should ever have the right to exist. While many of their major brands like Discovery Channel, Animal Planet, and TLC don't run into this problem, they also own quite a few channels that should have been put out of their misery long ago. The likes of Discovery Life and Destination America, and perhaps soon, due to its content shift, Travel Channel. Or should I call them Turtle? But at least Travel Channel, with its paranormal programming, has a reason to exist. Discovery Family is among the third-rate likes of Destination America, a channel which has long outlived its purpose and is now struggling to justify itself. This television ghost story began back on October 10th, 2010, with the much-hyped launch of The Hub, a new kids and family network jointly owned by Discovery and toy company Hasbro. The channel replaced Discovery Kids, which launched exactly 14 years and 3 days earlier, but by now had long passed its peak. The new channel launched with a fairly ambitious slate of series, mainly a number of international acquisitions and a few toy-centric originals from Hasbro. The channel's early years brought the likes of Shizao and Dennis Nasher to our shores, along with originals like Dan Versus and game show Family Game Night involving Hasbro's various board games. They also apparently produced a singing competition series called Majors and Minors. Wow. The Hub is most notorious, however, for bringing into this world the animated series My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic, ushering in the latest iteration in Hasbro's long-running toy franchise. The show is one of the Hub's few successes with kids, but it gained far more attention for its popularity amongst young men, ranging in scope from guilty pleasure to utter neckbeardedness. The channel changed gears in 2013 and especially 2014, cutting down the imports in some of the originals and increasing its reliance on classic and off-network series, changing its name to Hub Network in the process. The Hub Network days were packed with old sitcoms and old cartoons like Step by Step, Blossom, and Tiny Toon Adventures, alongside whatever new series they had left, which at this point was My Little Pony and whatever other cartoons Hasbro could come up with from its toy lines. At this point, it was clear that the Hub was heading into decline, doubling down on the family angle that had gotten the channel to where it was at that point in the first place. By the nature of its heritage, the Hub and Hub Network were mainly up against the major kids channels, and despite early successes in that regard, they never made a serious dent. By 2013, however, it was clear that the Hub Network had stopped caring. It had tried for a little while, but didn't become a force to be reckoned with, so it decided it was fine with living out its days unassumingly instead. In the fall of 2014, Discovery acquired an additional 10% of Hub Network from Hasbro, giving them a 60-40 majority, and on October 13th, 2014, 4 years and 3 days after the launch of the Hub, the pair relaunched the channel as Discovery Family. The new channel still insisted they were focused on families, arguing that there was a gap in the market for a family channel ever since ABC Family stopped serving that niche, a road that channel started heading down back in 2006 and made more than official with their rebrand to Freeform in 2016. The channel's daytime schedule would feature kids programming, while the evening would feature family-oriented factual programming. The state of Discovery Family has changed little in the past 4.5 years. The channel's daytime kids schedule is almost exclusively My Little Pony, along with Littlest Pet Shop, the only other show they really have, while evenings are filled with any show from any other Discovery-owned channel that someone in the scheduling department can pass off as being family-oriented. And now that Discovery owns Scripps Networks Interactive, or the likes of Food Network and HGTV, it's only gotten worse. However, the bad programming isn't the half of it. The channel's scheduling makes other channels' worst moments look good. On weekdays, the channel's kids and factual blocks hand off at 5 p.m. Eastern. Some kids with after-school activities aren't even home by 5 p.m., much less tuned into a TV channel. But that's not all. On weekends, where arguably there would be more of an opportunity to reach kids, Discovery Family throws up its hands and puts on its evening time reruns of Cake Boss or What Not to Wear starting at 2 p.m. Eastern. 2 p.m. Eastern! That's a start time that would make Adult Swim salivate. And as if that didn't hurt enough, Discovery Family, like most Discovery-owned channels, even the big ones, lacks a West Coast feed, meaning that bronies on the West Coast looking for their favorite show might as well consider themselves out of luck entirely. The future looks especially grim for Discovery Family, if it has one, following the announcement that the 9th season of My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic will be its last. Finally! After nearly a decade, the show's final 26 episodes began their run on April 6th, just before this video came out. And when My Little Pony goes, so the last of Discovery Family's relevance as a channel. It will probably still run the ponies to death afterward, at least while Transformers Rescue Bots Academy plays out over the next year or two, as somehow that got a 2-season start upon its premiere in January. I'd be surprised if the Littlest Pet Shop toy relaunch spin-off that aired last year, A World of Our Own, is dead by now. Discovery Family's problems go back to the channel's days as the hub. They simply gave up too soon. The channel put in real effort for 2 years and then just stopped caring. The hub had a mighty task to achieve: become a fourth major player in the kids space and go toe-to-toe against the 3 biggest kids TV brands in the world: Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and Disney Channel, not to mention Disney XD, also on its way up at the time. By the time the hub changed tack in 2013, Disney XD was hitting its stride after 4 years of hard work. Disney XD was how to launch a new kids channel and turn it into a force to be reckoned with. The hub was how to launch one and do the opposite. The channel's 2010 launch slate and earliest series were great steps in the right direction. If they kept the momentum going for a few more years, they could have been on the verge of lasting relevancy. However, it seemed Discovery and Hasbro were looking for quicker success, and, not seeing it, implemented the format change, which made the channel reliant on retro programming. Apparently, no one at Hub Network knew that retro does not rate, and Hub Network's offerings, while eclectic, were no exception. The 2014 rebrand to Discovery Family was the acceptance of this failure, and the channel's atrocious scheduling both reflects that and speaks for itself. The other big problem that pervaded through the channel's life, both as the hub and Discovery Family, was that their aim was too scattered, and arguably too broad. In trying to reach a family audience, they aired a mishmash of shows. Some preschool shows, some kids shows and cartoons, and some sitcoms in hopes of grabbing adult eyeballs. They really just need to pick where they were going to go and stick with it. I would suggest going for the kids channels, given the history of Discovery Kids and their relative success in that department, not to mention that the competition there would be welcome. In trying to reach everyone with their family remit, they ultimately reached no one, and their presence largely on higher tier cable packages didn't help that fact. There's a reason the family channel gap hasn't often been filled here in the US. There are more focused and greener pastures in catering to subsets of what a family channel would be aiming for. A similar problem now befalls the similarly named family channel in Canada. While they're a kids channel in most eyes, in recent years, now they've lost Disney content to Chorus, they've also aired shows from adult-leaning and generalist networks in a bid to attract older audiences, like Gilmore Girls and Malcolm in the Middle. They just feel weird and out of place on what is dominantly seen as a kids channel in the same league as YTV and Teletoon. The problem with launching a new TV channel in the US is that you have to bring your A game. Give it your 100% of the time in hopes of building your audience and your reputation. But it takes years to do this, regardless of the audience you're aiming for, and regardless of the likely disappointing early results that are sure to come. It's important to stick it out and push through, as with enough effort and enough perseverance, a new channel can become a major player. Discovery simply didn't want to put in the effort, and that's how we have the graveyard that Discovery Family is today, simply waiting to die. When will it be put out of its misery? If you'd like another story about a television channel that squandered its potential, go check out my video on the interesting story of My Network TV, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories and commentary. I'm Benson Johnson Jr., I'm enthusiastic about television, and I'll see you next time.